Hi, it's Vex, and today we want to talk about the top 10 of Streets of New Capenna. That's right, we have it here, top 10. Admittedly, this is not as strong as Kamigawa and Neon Dynasty, but there are some fun goodies in this set. And, like always, it's not just the top 10. There's an honorable mention right here, an offer you can't refuse. Now, people are going crazy with this because it's a 1 mana, right? 1 mana counter spell, counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. That's pretty good because 1 mana counter non-creature spells is very, very cheap. I know Negate costs 2 mana. 2 mana is double 1 mana. Holding up 1 mana, 1 blue mana is so much easier than holding up 2. Fierce Guardianship is much better than this because that's free. 0 mana, that's what that is. But this is an honorable mention because it does accelerate your opponent. If it accelerates your opponent, it could be trouble. But you do get to counter something. However, you're behind. The 2 other opponents that did nothing are ahead, and the other opponent that did something is slightly behind because they lost a spell, but a little ahead because they got 2 treasures. So it's not as good as it seems. I would play it only in CEDH, maybe not even in CEDH, but it's cool because it's an offer you can't refuse. So that's our honorable mention. It's good, but not too good. Let's move on to our true top 10. Number 10. Titan of Industry. Gotta get my dice here. Always get the dice. Number 10, Titan of Industry. What it does is 4 green, so heavy green, 7 mana value, but it's a 7/7 reach trample. I know it can block anything and just plow through almost anything. 7/7 is pretty big in EDH. Then when ETBs, choose 2. Okay, there's a special timing rule which get to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Target player gains 5 life. Create a 4/4 green Rhino warrior creature token. Put a shield counter on a creature you control. Now, most people would do the destroy target artifact or enchantment, right? That's one effect of the choose 2, and then maybe make a dude or put a shield counter. However, the shield counter does not target. So if you destroy target artifact or enchantment and that artifact does not exist anymore, this whole effect fizzles. I know people will say, why didn't they put a shield counter on a target creature you control? It's because they want to be able to put a shield counter on the Rhino that you created. So this does generate 11 power for 7 mana, which is insane, but power creep's coming up, so 11 power, not so good. Maybe they'll make 20 power for 7 mana, who knows. Can destroy an artifact or enchantment, which is extremely good. Just be careful with that timing ability. Make a dude, put a shield counter. You put a shield counter itself, it could block. So I think it's really good. It's definitely going to my Azusa deck because I love big fatties like that. Number 9 here, just a dice. Ledger Shredder. Now, you're like, why is this standard, modern, legacy, whatever, Pioneer All-Star inside Commander? Let's read Ledger Shredder. 1 in blue, flying. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, Ledger Shredder connives, and that's draw a card, discard a card. If you discard a non-land, put a +1/+1 creature on Ledger Shredder. Why is this so good? Because multiple people in Commander cast 2 spells a turn, and this isn't just you. It's any player casting 2 spells in one single turn will allow Ledger Shredder to connive. And if you cast 2 spells during your turn, somebody else casts 2 spells during your turn, you can connive twice. But it's because it doesn't say this ability only triggers once. It only triggers once per player who casts 2 spells. So Ledger Shredder gets big. What it does is lets you loot through your deck. Very good spell slinger decks. And lets you discard things in reanimator decks too. So it goes in a lot of decks. And I think, and it's just, it's just like a small body, a flying evasive body you need. Sometimes you want those little weenie decks. Ledger Shredder is really good. Comes out early, filters cards quickly, and just gets you where you want to be. So I really love Ledger Shredder as number 9. Number 8, Slip Out the Back. I know there's a lot of blue cards in this top 10 right now, but Slip Out the Back is really good because it's an offensive and defensive card. Slip Out the Back is 1 blue, put +1/+1 counter on target creature, it phases out. So if somebody's comboing off with a creature, you could just cast Slip Out the Back, phase them out. I know you give them +1/+1 counter, but it just gets rid of the problem, stops the combo. Or if somebody's trying to kill your creature, you can put +1/+1 counter on it and phase it out. Or, like maybe save your creature from a board wipe and stuff because it phases out. Keeps the +1/+1 counter. It is super good. I really like this card. This card should be higher, but I haven't really tested it that much. But every time I play it, it's really, really good. All right, number 7. Topiary Stomper. I know all the Simic cards, right? 1 green, green. Vigilance, when Topiary Stomper ETBs, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield. So it's kind of like a Farhaven elf. Not as good as a Wood Elf, Farhaven elf, with an extra green pip. And then it can't attack or block unless you control 7 more lands. That's fine. Vigilance, it does increase its own land count. So usually you have 3 lands plus the 4th land it finds. 3 more lands, you can attack with 4/4 Vigilant. That's a much better stats than the Farhaven elf. And it does give you land. I love creatures that give you land because it goes in like decks like Saskia where that are all about attacking and having creature density. Or Jetmir, it's really good in Jetmir because it's a ramp on a creature. Continue our theme of Simic colors. Number 6, Broker's Ascendancy has white. Finally, have different color, right? And it's enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, put +1/+1 on the counter each creature you control and lowers the counter on each planeswalker you control. It's really good and attracts the deck. I'm just gonna be honest. This is insane. It attracts the deck. The cool part is you don't have to have Atraxa. You don't have to have Atraxa there to proliferate. But if you have Atraxa and Broker's Ascendancy, you put +1/+1 on the counter and then proliferate. It's good in the Super Friends deck because it does planeswalkers. It's good in the +1/+1 counters deck because it does creatures. It might look innocent, it might look bad, it might look slow, but you play this and it triggers right away at the end of your turn. Let's say you have 3 creatures, 3 +1/+1 counters, permanent +1/+1 counters. Next turn triggers again and again and again, and just makes your things bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is very good in limited, and usually cards that are very good in limited are very good in Commander. Our number 5 card here, no one's surprised, a green card, continuing the theme, Bootleggers Stash, 5 green. This is an artifact itself, and people are complaining about why does green need to have this, but it has it now, and I can't unhave it, right? So you might as well just use it. Lands you control create a treasure token. So this is insanely good in what deck? Korvold. But it also allows your lands to bank mana, kind of like Omnath, Locus of Mana, except for it's in treasure form, so you can have artifact synergies and such like that. Bootleggers Stash. Okay, number 4. And you know for a fact I love Graveyard Hate because I feel like every deck is a Graveyard deck. And the more Graveyard Hate, the flexible Graveyard Hate, the better the game is. Unlicensed Horse, right there. This actually sees somebody plays in Legacy decks and other modern decks because of Murktide Regent. But in Commander, everybody does something with their graveyard. 2 generic mana, tap, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. It's not a creature right away, so you can do it the first turn you play it, pay 2, then exile some cards right away. Then you get to target as well. So you can hold this up, just in case somebody does a reanimation spell, you can target, and boom, you got him. Unlicensed Horsepower and Toughness are each equal to the number of cards exiled with it. So with this specific one, not with all the other horses. And then crew 2. So what you do is you do your Graveyard Hate, and just bam, hate one player, hate another player, hate another player, and it becomes like a 6/6, 8/8, 10/10. You crew 2 and you get bash in finally after you do all the hating. Number 3. So as you know, the theme of like my top 10 is I love just good answers, good cards, because this is like an answer and a threat. This doubles. But sometimes you just need some clean answers like Void Rend right there, or the regular picture of Void Rend. I'm not sure which one I like better. I like this. This picture's super good. I actually wish this picture's on this frame. This frame's okay. I'm not really... it's okay to me. This looks really good. I love the watermark. This doesn't have the watermark, so it makes me sad. So let's use this one. Void Rend. Sometimes good, clean answers and simple cards are the best, right? Void Rend, it's Esper, white, blue, black. Again, more blue and green cards. This spell can't be countered. Destroy target non-land permanent, and it's an instant. So I don't think this is as good as Anguish Unmaking. The spell can't be countered part, which Anguish Unmaking doesn't have. Could apply sometimes, but I think Anguish Unmaking is better because it exiles. And it's in 2 colors. This is 3 colors, harder to cast, but I think it's just such a good answer, a good clean answer. It doesn't destroy lands like Assassin's Trophy, but I love answers that can answer everything. Generous Gift might be better. The one that makes a destroy target permanent, make a 3/3 elephant or Beast Within. That's at 3 mana, and that's in Generous Gift is in white. That's why I mentioned it. Might be better because they destroy a land, but that 3/3 creature matters now. A lot of people say, "Oh, the 3/3 creature doesn't matter." It matters. I've died to it. So that's why I like clean answers that don't give opponents stuff. All right, number 2, unsurprising if you haven't seen any of these lands yet. Right there, the Tri-lands. And it completes the set from Ikoria. I wish they called them Triomes, but they're not. Jetmir's Garden, Rafine's Tower, Spar's Headquarter, Xander's Lounge, and Ziatora's Proving Ground. It's a boxing ring. It's kind of funny. Goes insanely well with fetch lands. Anything like that grabs forest. As I mentioned before, Wood Elves would grab forest, so we'd grab any of these forests like Ziatora's Proving Ground. Auto includes in 3-color decks, 4-color decks, 5-color decks from now until forever. Until they make a 4-color land, which I don't think they have room to write all that. Number 1 here, we have a different color card, finally, because all this is starting to be green, at least green or blue somewhere here. We have a red card. I know, I'm sorry, black. Black doesn't get a good card. Black has Void Rend. That's partial black. Professional Facebreaker, 2 and a red. Menace, Human Warrior, 2/3. So Menace is good, right? Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. So up to 3 per turn per player. 3 per turn for each player, right? So this Professional Facebreaker, Brace Your Face, gets treasure from it, which is great. However, the important part is sacrifice a treasure, exile top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So kind of like a card draw spell. Wizards, again, has made a card that makes mana and draws cards. If you see a card that makes mana and draws a card, it's insanely powerful. And the thing is, it's a cheap card. So if you see something that makes mana and draws cards at, like 7 mana value, 8 mana value, it's okay. This is 3 mana value. In a treasure deck, in a Corvold deck, it's even Corvold colors. You get to just make treasures, draw cards, and even sack the treasure to Corvold. Treasures have gotten really powerful, as you can see, little treasure playmat here. Have gotten really, really powerful recently, and I might make another video about how powerful treasures are, but that's why I'm including Vandal Blast in all my deck, because treasures are just too powerful. Professional Facebreaker just shows you that, it's kind of like a Prosper thing. Prosper draws cards and makes mana. Once you're at the level of doing those 2 things, you are, to me, too much value, and it's just, you got to kill it, because this is going to eventually make more mana than it costs and run away with the game. Anyways, that is my top 10. What is your top 10? Leave them in the comments below. And before we leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos in the future. I also have a new super thanks feature if you want to thank me for this video, but no need to do that. I'm just thankful that you're watching all the way to this point in the video. And anyways, and as always, have a wonderful day.